Vanny, bring me everyone.
What do you mean, everyone?
Everyone! I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Barry Manilow know that you raid his wardrobe?
Let me explain something to you. I am not Mr. Lebowski. You're Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude.
No one is to stone anyone until I blow this whistle.
You can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Lord, you can imagine where it goes from here.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Zedos Game Podcast. This is episode number 71 and we are live. Yeah, we're doing this on what's the date? It's the 20th of August 2017 and this is a podcast where we talk about films and stuff that's happened in the movie industry. And with me is Sacha Allari. He was filming today. He's filming. Is that okay to say? That you were filming
yeah,
today?
I spent an interesting weekend with two nutballs.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
There you have it. That's the scoop. There, two nutballs filming something in London. So. The fruits of which I'm sure we'll see at some point, depending on where this thing will be distributed. But I'm sure.
I was kind of keeping it on the low, to be quite honest, because if it turns out shit, I don't want to put my name to it.
Well, no one knows what it is.
Well, that is true. I'm not going to advertise it, but you know, I mean, like when it hits, if it's awesome, I'm sure I'd big it up on this podcast, and all you guys can bitch about it and go, "Hey man, but you said it was shit."
Well, again, hence why I didn't say the name.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't even think it has a name, so.
Or where it was filmed.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think we should leave that.
Yeah.
out.
This
totally.
is what I mean.
Yeah.
I just said you filming stuff. So yeah, well, there you have it. How are you guys this week? Everyone all right? Everyone cool? Yeah. Everyone sitting down, listening. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Right. Okay. We'll get straight into the news at hand. And okay, so this is an old but new story. Ryan Reynolds wants to do an Avengers crossover, and everyone in the world would want that as well, I'm guessing, or any Marvel character, any significant Marvel character would want to cross over Avengers, or in the greater MCU world anyway. So Ryan Reynolds is totally down for the Deadpool and Avengers crossover event, but admits there are several things standing in his way. One being Fox, the other being Disney.
I'd say more Marvel.
Or Marvel, whichever way you want to spin it. There are gatekeepers, and this will always stop things like this from happening. I think on Marvel's side, it may be easier to negotiate because they negotiated with Sony pretty well.
I think it's mainly to do with
Feige.
No, Ike.
Oh right.
Like the CEO of Marvel, Ike Perlmutter.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally down to him. Feige has no problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's just planning your fights with Ike.
Yeah.
That's literally it, because he's a control super freak. He cares about what sells for the company. He's the reason why there's no more Fantastic Four comic books because
of that last one, right? Or
no, just because that they don't own the rights for the movies. So his way is, if there's no comic book, there's no interest, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
And he's doing the same with X-Men as well. That's why the Inhumans were created, because they wanted to get rid of the X-Men. The only problem with the X-Men is their most popular comic. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how do you get rid of the biggest selling comic? You don't. You can't. It's stupid. But he
did it though, right?
No, it's still going.
Okay.
It's still going, kind of. I don't know. I don't know all. Someone else on here educate me, because I'd like to keep up to date with it. But I hear it's not, the X-Men as we know it kind of thing. So whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever. Inhumans, yay.
I mean, the show looks really good. Not.
I I don't know anything about Inhumans other than the show looks very cheap.
Yeah, it does look cheap. It looks super cheap.
It looked like they got cardboard and and built cardboard sets. I don't know.
I tell you, it looks like a 1960s show. It looks like Star Trek if it was made today.
yeah, I could totally see that.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Was it the giant dog that gave it away?
Do you want that? That's the least of my problems with that show. It just looks cheap. It looks super cheap. It looks like late 90s TV show material.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like there's a lot of quality into it. Now, I could be absolutely wrong. I could watch the first episode and go, oh wow, that was decent.
Yeah.
I can't. Every part of me doesn't feel like that's going to happen because the Inhuman things in the Inhuman storyline in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. wasn't particularly great anyway.
Yeah.
And they did away with that really quickly in the sense that, I mean, it's still an ongoing storyline, but it's in the background.
Yeah.
So, anyway, with this crossover, do you think Deadpool would even fit in the Marvel universe?
Yeah, he could, man. You got to understand, Deadpool is his own entity. Mm-hmm. He could fit in any universe and just be him. You know what I mean? Because the whole point is that as long as the crossover takes place in his movie, then it's fine. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, therein lies the problem. If it, I don't think.
What?
I don't think that would ever happen.
Well, I don't think it would because of the rights.
Oh no! But if there was like a, oh yeah, we want this to happen. There's the dotted line, it's signed.
Yeah.
But we just can't. We need to sell as many suits as we can, so it has to be PG-13. Oh no, we can't do PG-13.
Well, to be honest though, I mean, like Deadpool could work in a PG-13 kind of environment. Mm-hmm. He has in multiple comic books and animated cartoons and stuff. Mm-hmm. So he could still swear and stuff, but it'd just be beeped out.
Right.
We would know what he says, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it'd just be beeped out. They'd probably tone down the violence, definitely, but like it could still work and still be funny if they were to do it the other way round and put it, you know, like let's just say he shows up in an Avengers film, it would be. Obviously, that would be toned down. But if it's in terms of the Deadpool franchise, the Deadpool film, that's still going to be 18. Because Ryan Reynolds won't. Ryan Reynolds has more of a say on this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, through the Deadpool lens, it could work and it will be fine, man. If it was the other way around, where Deadpool's going into the MCU now, that's a different kettle of fish. He won't be swearing. But he'd still be funny because they'll creatively find ways around that to make him funny. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because, one, he's a funny character anyway. And plus, Marvel get it. Do you know what I mean? They get their characters. So, do you know what I mean? There wouldn't be a problem with it. And if you watch any animated show that they've done, that's produced by Marvel, yeah, no biggie. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's in safe hands and Feige knows what he's doing. If it was through the Marvel lens. Yeah. Because they'll, you know, you gotta understand, Marvel know their characters. It's not like old man up in Warner Brothers land that don't know fuck all about comic books. It's Kevin Feige. You know what I mean? So even if we did get a 12A incarnation of Deadpool through the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it'd be fine. But if we were getting it through the lens of Fox's Deadpool, that could work too. There's no boundaries there, I don't think, personally. Mainly because both creative forces know exactly what they're doing. The only people that can fuck that up is Fox themselves. But they're not, because they're seeing bank. So
right.
For now. So, you know, it's all good.
Okay. Well, a little bit of extra news on Deadpool as well. As everyone knows, there was that stunt person that died. Yeah. But yeah, it's. I think we start to hear more and more on this when something happens to a stunt actor or stunt actress. You start to hear more and more about it purely because it's more of a thing now. Stunt actors and stunt women are in the limelight a bit more because we can see the work that goes into what they do in films now, and they're more highlighted in Oscars and as well. Well, I wouldn't say the Oscars, but it's more of a highlight now. Same thing happened with Tom Cruise as well, I guess. Whatever. Anyway, on to the next topic, and Weinstein animation is a thing now. The Weinstein Company announces a new animation division titled Mischief to roll out in the summer with an animated film Leap. And would you ever expect the Weinstein Company to do something like this?
Well, they ain't done shit, because this movie was made before they even done that. This movie was made by a different animation house anyway. It's come out in England called Ballerina. It's been running since Christmas. Obviously this film hasn't made it stateside, so it's just a case of Harvey Weinstein and Bob Weinstein just like bought that film. They probably bought other little titles and just decided, fuck it, we're going to produce animation as well now. Do I see it working? Yeah, it could work. I mean, like, these films, depending when they bring them out, it can be like a little bit of a money maker for them. I think it's a wise move, because like kids animation, when put out at the right times of release, could be very beneficial for them, and it doesn't even really matter about how good the movies are, but if they paid attention, like how Pixar do, about story and characters, then they could make what could be a $1 million profit to a $1 billion profit. But you know what I mean, it's a case of that you can tell they're just producing these already made films, if that makes sense. It's not like where they have a studio of animators, because Ballerina was like, you know, this short thing that, do you know what I mean, that got picked up by them, that's all. So until they have like a CGI powerhouse and say this is what we're doing, you know, it's non-news. I don't, you know, in terms of that really, it's just them putting their name to something.
See, the way I saw it is that they would do their, do you know how Clerks is very independent? It looks like it's a very independent film. Yeah. And I thought they would go to people that have done animation and that want an injection of a small budget. So it wouldn't be a big, super big animation that would go up against something like what Pixar would do, but something in between. Something like, not Planes, but one of... If you've got like Kubo and the Two Strings, it's something like that. I thought they would bridge a gap between people that have the ambition to do that, and but on a cheaper budget. Yeah. So I thought that's what Weinstein was doing or could be doing, or positioning himself to do, hence opening up this animation division. Yeah. Which. I mean, which would benefit a lot of people, like maybe Aardman, people from Aardman's company that want to get their stuff distributed. This will probably help them really well.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Aardman are a fantastic studio. They're on Pixar's level, in my opinion, because they've not made a shit film.
In terms of story, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, like Wallace and Gromit, golden. Chicken Run was golden. Shaun the Sheep was really, really funny. These guys don't get enough credit.
I think they do, man. Stateside, I think they're quite renowned as being, hey, this is the only guy that really does this stop animation stuff.
I mean, like, what's his name? Nick Park.
Nick
Park, man, genius dude.
Yeah.
What I love about their style, it's got a very certain sense of Britishness to it.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't emulate that, man. It's just so well done.
Yeah, it's super British. If anything. But yeah, it's definitely Weinstein doing this. He's positioned himself for that middle ground. Okay, well, if you want to do this animation, we'll give you this injection of money. Yeah. Get it done, man. And yeah, well, I guess we'll see how well that comes along in the coming years, I guess. So we'll keep an eye on that. On to the next story, and Uncharted. So the director No, not the director. I think it's the producer. No, it is the director. It's Sean Levy, the director of the Uncharted, this upcoming Uncharted movie, says that this will be Indiana Jones for a new generation. What do you think? Because I've glimpsed at Uncharted and I get it.
Potentially, I mean, like, you know what? That's exactly what it kind of is. It's like Indiana Jones, but updated, you know, in the now kind of thing. Kind of like how National Treasure was, if that makes sense. I think National Treasure was probably the closest we got to an Indiana Jones film back in the day. Disney, I'm still waiting for a third one. Nicolas Cage ain't done yet in cinematic film. They just bring back National Treasure. That was cool. In terms of Uncharted, I mean, like, you know what? It's a fantastic IP. I would like to see what they do with it. I was really looking forward to Joe Carnahan's idea of it. Obviously, I'm not too sure whether they're going with that script. But, you know, Sean Levy, he's done some interesting films. Night at the Museum trilogy, I've not seen any of them, but, you know, there's a lot of kids that love those films. Real Steel should not have worked, but it worked. Okay, if you haven't seen Real Steel, check it out. Fantastic little movie. Yeah, really, really good. You know, but he's really stuck with comedies and stuff, you know, like The Internship and the Night at the Museum films. So, do you know what I mean? Uncharted just seems like he's flexing his muscles again. He can definitely do the drama if you check out Real Steel. And you know what? Fuck it. This guy's directed 4 episodes of Stranger Things. You know what I mean? And that's like some of the best shit ever. So, you know, it's he's done different things with different. He's done different things. That's tonally very different. You know, he can handle comedy. He can handle drama. He can handle 80s kind of sci-fi coming of age shit. You know what I mean? Like, this is another muscle to flex. It'll be interesting to see what he does with Uncharted. His name never really popped out to me as someone that I'd be like, yeah, Uncharted. But his film resume is very interesting, I think, and we'll have to see. It's difficult because it depends which direction Sony is going with. He hasn't been very vocal, so I guess this is the first kind of thing. You know, Indiana Jones for a new generation. Well, I would have thought that'd be a given. But at least he's not saying ridiculous stuff like David O. Russell when he was attached. Because he was just saying stuff that said, 1, you don't play the games, and 2, you're making the fans angry. So what the fuck? Get out of Dodge, man. You know what I mean? I liked what Joe Carnahan had to say while he was on the project. He sounded like he was getting the right vibe there. But obviously they didn't go with that. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully it pans out and becomes like the best video game adaptation ever made, but I very much doubt that, because that crown goes to Castlevania. Just saying. If you haven't seen Castlevania on Netflix, check it out. It's amazing. I can't wait for season 1, because the one they got on Netflix is season 0. It's really good.
Is that what it says it is?
That's what the fans are calling it.
But is it season 1 or is it season 0?
Season 0.
No, really, is it season 1 or season 0?
Season 0. Anyway.
Right, so in terms of Uncharted, again, who do you see as Nathan Drake?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. If I was doing this,
Mark Wahlberg, right?
No, not Mark Wahlberg. Bradley Cooper.
Okay, well, why are you on the Bradley Cooper train?
Because he's fucking Nathan Drake, man. He's fucking Nathan Drake. Like, seriously. Like, a lot of people are saying, like, the guy from Firefly, and I get why. Because when he was young, he kind of looked and kind of, you know, acted that kind of persona. You know what I mean? Most definitely. But Bradley Cooper, I think, has the chops. And he's an A-lister, which means you get Bradley Cooper, they're making this movie at a decent budget that it needs to be made at.
Right.
And I actually think he has the chops to do it. If I had to go for a second choice, I'd say Ryan Gosling. But I don't think Ryan Gosling could bring the kind of performance. Well, maybe he could, you know what I mean? But it would be him like proper acting, you know what I mean? Like not even proper acting, just being a little bit different. Whereas Bradley Cooper is that, you know what I mean? Without even having to do anything, I can see it. You know what I mean? Like if you looked at the A-Team, he's the character. That is Nathan Drake.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? In terms of his persona and stuff. And I'm just like, you know, if I was to pick Sully, I said this before on this podcast, I was talking with Leo, I would get like fucking Bruce Campbell in makeup.
Oh, yeah?
I'd get him in makeup. I'd get him to have a prosthetic nose to make him look more like fucking Sully from the games. He's got the voice and the mannerisms. I'd get both of those two, and that'd be one. You got your A-lister, and two, you got your your cult fan favorite actor doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And I just think that would be fantastic casting. You know, but that's my dream cast there. Going out there, those two.
Well, I really don't know what to make of it because I believe it's Todd. What's his name? Tom Holland. That's going to be Nathan Drake.
Now. Is that just for... oh, yeah, I forgot all about this Tom Holland thing. So, okay, in Uncharted 3, and I think Uncharted 2... No, Uncharted 3 and the latest one, Uncharted 4, they show bits of Nathan Drake's past. So, in 3, you see how we meet Sully, kind of thing, and how they become a team kind of thing. But in number 4, you see... basically how Drake gets his name, how he was in an orphanage, how he has a brother that was also a treasure hunter, or wanted to get in treasure, you know what I mean? And he, you know what, his brother, if James Woods could look younger, could play his brother.
If James Woods could look younger.
Yeah, I know, man, because it's like his brother was kind of like a James Woods-esque character, man, in the latest Uncharted kind of thing. It's like, how are you two related? But no, you know, there are bits that flesh out their character's backstory. If Tom Holland's playing the kid version of Drake from back in day, fair enough. But if he's the lead from start to finish, I'm a bit, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, and the kid bit, I wouldn't want it to be like the main bulk of the movie. You know what I mean? If he's Nathan Drake, I'm not really feeling it. Because, I mean, I love Tom Holland, and like, they probably cast him for what serves their incarnation of the script, but that's not what me as an Uncharted fan sees as Uncharted. You know what I mean? The kids sections aren't that big. You know what I mean? They're not that integral. You know what I mean? Like, we just want proper Nathan Drake story. You know what I mean?
As a person that's not a fan, do you think this casting of Tom Holland will mean anything to like a normal cinema? No,
I don't think it would mean jack shit to a normal cinema goer. I think they'll be like, oh, okay, let's give it a chance. But I mean, you know, as it's a popular game, it's a popular series, and the way I see it is, if you're gonna, with any IP, you want to appease the people that have been behind the IP in the first place. Well, sure, there's going to be changes, but this kind of change is a bit, no, not with this IP. And considering that this is an IP that Sony own, and Sony own neither franchises, they want to nurture the golden gooses rather than fucking, you know, fuck them up at the first hurdle. Have no lessons been learnt from the Amazing Spider-Man movies? Guess not. You know what I mean? Like, seriously, like, if you nurture what works, people will come. You know what I mean? Fuck the fans off. Fair enough, you might have a decent movie, but then how long's that formula gonna last before people wise up to like how shit really should be? You know? Look at Resident Evil for an example. That's a classic example of fucking shit up at the first hurdle. You know what I mean? But they cost that, you know, bad. This is kind of like a bad example, but Resident Evil, that series only lasted as long as it did because they were made on the cheap. Sony are looking to spend 200 million on this. Do you know what I mean? So they can't afford to whoop out a Resident Evil here.
I can't understand why Sony would be wanting to spend so much money on something that I mean, 1%, if that, of the audience will come to see.
Yeah. They're looking for IPs, man.
Sure,
and they're taking a gamble. They're like, this is a popular IP. Let's go. It's like, you know what it is? It's like someone there's trying to put their stamp on it. Look at RoboCop. That was blatantly made for more sequels. Mm-hmm. Okay, even at the end of that movie, you never saw it, did you? Okay, so at the end of that movie, it did kind of make me want to see another sequel. I didn't hate it. I thought I was presently kind of like, okay, it's okay. My only complaint with the new incarnation of RoboCop was Detroit didn't look like it needed a RoboCop. It looked like it had pretty rainbows and pristine, and do you know what I mean? It didn't look like a city of crime. But original RoboCop, yeah, they needed like armed fucking police, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like that place was fucked. But if I had to pick one RoboCop, obviously, like everyone else in the whole world, I'd pick the original. But the reboot wasn't that bad for what they were trying to do. The thing is, though, it just felt like someone trying to put their own personal stamp that they had made it, like if it was their fucking idea. Saying like Ghostbusters, oh my god, has to be women, has to do this, you know what I mean? It's like, whoever that person is at Sony, get them the fuck out. Because I'm pretty sure it's the same motherfucker that was like, yo, Spider-Man, Peter Parker's a geek? No, let's make him an emo skateboarder. Because that's what the character is. Yeah.
Well, what about films like this new Tomb Raider adaptation? Do you think that they look like they've got that right?
Tomb Raider does look like it's got it right. If they're going by the current game series, how it lies now. And that's what I think they're doing. It's a bit too early to say with Tomb Raider because, you know, with Tomb Raider they got someone that I could personally see as Lara Croft, and they didn't get a shit actress. They got a damn good one. Yeah. You know what I mean? They got a damn good choice for Tomb Raider. Yeah. You know, I remember everyone's fan favourite was Daisy Ridley. Hell, I could see it. I could see Daisy Ridley as a Tomb Raider, but the thing is with Daisy Ridley, she's only done one film. Okay, she's only done one film, and even though she looks like the character, she's not proven as someone that can act, really. You know what I mean? She's just got one film, and that's, you know, well, we need to see more of her in other stuff. Whereas Alicia Vikander has been in loads of stuff. She's not a big name, but she's been about around the block for a while, and in everything she's done, she's different. She can hold her own against people like Henry Cavill.
The last one I saw was in the Jason Bourne.
Yeah,
she was very. I didn't expect her to be able to be that. She held her own.
Yeah, exactly.
From all the other characters in the Bourne series.
Exactly. Well. And that's the point I'm trying to make. You know, she can hold her own. She has presence, and this is her baby. And I totally get that. I totally get where they're going with Tomb Raider, or at least I'm hoping it's good. You know what I mean? I'm hoping it's good. But the difference is they're not pissing anyone off with Tomb Raider. This is Uncharted. Don't piss the fans off at the first hurdle. You know what I mean? But people want to have faith that Nathan Drake is being looked after. If it's Tom Holland, I totally forgot about the Tom Holland thing. If it's Tom Holland, if it's just like, I don't know, 5 minutes when it's like, you know, like Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade where you had young Indy as River Phoenix. If it's like that, cool. If it's not, get the fuck out of Dodge, man. Just not interested. But that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, for my instinct, I would say that I think this is more of a Sony problem than it is an IP problem, because I think depending on what studio knows its IPs, I don't know who Tomb Raider's with, but
Paramount.
They seem to be dealing with that really well.
Yeah. Surprisingly.
Sony, every time you hear about Sony now, it's just like, oh no.
Yeah.
What they're gonna do?
What they're gonna do? What you gonna do?
Yeah, it's really weird. So I think this is more of a Sony problem. I mean, Joe Carnahan wrote a script for this film, and again, I don't know if it's going to be used or if it's not going to be used.
I don't think it is.
But it's an intrinsic problem with Sony ever since that hack. They've just been they've been trying to regroup and just like, we need this, we need that, we need to make this, we need to make it yesterday because we need money.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's never a good policy. But yeah, more on that as it comes along. Okay, so Star Wars. What was that?
Oh, that was my PC. I'll tell you.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, man.
All right, no worries. So there's two Star Wars pieces. Star Wars pieces of news that we have here.
Yep.
And first is that Lucasfilm is trying to implement an MCU strategy for the franchise, with the for the spin-offs and just the whole story in its entirety. So, do you think that's the best idea to use that strategy? Would you use the?
I think it would work with Star Wars. To be honest, I mean, like, you know, you connect the films with like certain characters. You don't have to have it be blatant. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
At this conjuncture, you can set it in any era of the Star Wars universe. That's the best thing about Star Wars. Like, it doesn't have to be, you know what I mean? Like, directly after Episode 7. It could be before, it could be after, it could be wherever.
Mm-hmm.
Set within that continuity.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of flexibility with Star Wars. In terms of building stuff up, I can only see that working going forward. But, you know, I think personally they should go backwards. I think we should have some prequel era shit. You know what I mean? We're secure with the nostalgia factor of the 1970s and 1980s. I know you're secure in that fact, Joe. But I mean, you know what I mean? Look, and I totally understand why Disney have done things the way they did, because they wanted everyone to know that they got shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's probably going to be hammered down till 9's up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then they're probably going to stick with episode 7 to 9 era. But I reckon they should drop back to prequel era and just make people comfortable and enjoy that era. Because I think they can do that through the lens of new films. You know what I mean? Like the Obi-Wan movie. Like a Mace Windu movie. And maybe give him more of a character than what he was in fucking prequels. But, do you know what I mean? I think stuff like that could make that era great again. And not only that, I'm thinking about going even further back, because this is what every Star Wars fan wants. It's a Knights of the Old Republic fucking game, okay? Not game, you know, set, movie kind of thing. Have Darth Bane in it and Darth Revan in there, and people will lose their shit. That would be like the Star Wars equivalent to fucking Stanios, man.
But yeah, that's all great. But in a sense of what the MCU films are doing, they don't really dive into the past.
That's not too true, because they did that with Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing that now with Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
They've delved into the past quite a few times, only, you know, for a little bit in other films as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they've never shied away and said no to stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
They've just concentrated where they were at the time. I actually think, and I'm going to say it now, after the announcement of Captain Marvel being set in the 90s now, I think we're going to get more stuff set in the past. Because I think what they're going to do now, in terms of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they're going to go forward in the timeline with certain characters. They've got a plan for Spider-Man to go past whatever they've agreed with. It just needs to make bank. You know what I mean? That second one hopefully will make bank because of its continuation off of Infinity War. Now, he's going to be one of the leading characters to move that franchise forward. Same with Doctor Strange, same with whoever else they got there. Now, the key figures like Thor and that, Chris Hemsworth I don't see going anywhere, okay? that dude's career outside of Thor, you know what I mean? Like, no hits.
That's not a good thing for an actor, though.
That's not a good thing for an actor, but money's money, dude.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Money's money, dude. Also...
Yeah, but when he becomes too old to play that character...
Yeah.
Well, he has to have something else to fall back on.
Oh, yeah, sure, and I'm sure he'll find that. But then, with...
I do agree with your analysis that he'll do like what Robert Downey Jr. is doing.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what? If the money's right, we'll talk about it.
Same with Chris Evans. Chris Evans has publicly stated that he's more than willing to stay on. Robert Downey Jr. is the hard-boiled card, and this is the thing. They don't need to do an Iron Man 4 yet. They don't need to. They don't need it. You know what I mean? They'd like to, because they know it's $1 billion movie, but they don't need to. And that's just what I think they're going to do. I think they're going to do other movies where they explore the past a bit more, which they can do now. And I think they will. And I think they're going to do stuff like that, expand the universe that way. And once they've done that, then they might look at Robert Downey Jr. because he would have been like not playing the role for X amount of years. Maybe he might be in a position where he'd be more willing to come back, and maybe they could renegotiate a new deal for an Iron Man 4. You know what I mean? And another slew of movies.
Yeah.
Because it'll be that thing for him to come back to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But Marvel, unlike other franchises, they don't have to depend on that. You know what I mean? As in, shit, we need to make it straight away and we need to recast. They don't need to recast. Do you know what I mean? They can afford to go, cool, you don't do Iron Man 4 now, cool, you go do your thing. We're too busy doing our thing. We'll meet you later. You know what I mean? And that's the exact same thing with Star Wars, man. Because these spin-offs aren't dependent on the main characters. If the main characters serve the story, they'll do that. They're not going to force those characters to come back.
Well, if you have Obi-Wan in your title, for instance...
Well, Ewan McGregor's very open to come back.
Sure. But I'm just saying, it's not focused on the... But you said it was not focused on the main characters. If you have Obi-Wan in your title, then if you don't see at least 10 minutes of Obi-Wan, then it's kind of a lie. But you know what I mean? Like, so Obi-Wan aside, you know what I mean? Like, they don't have to... It could be like Rogue One, you know what I mean? Where they're totally brand new characters. You know what I mean? What the beauty of that movie was, that movie was the typical example of a Marvel movie, because it had so many Easter eggs that were from here and there and there. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Like, I liked what they did with Jimmy Smits, but I really wish that he never went to Alderaan. I wish he said something else which was inconsistent, which would have meant that he would have survived. Right. Because that would have just been like, every Star Wars fan would have been like, what? I thought he dead. It's like, well, you didn't see him die in those films. And they could have done loads of shit with Jimmy Smits. They could have done loads of stuff with that character, because that's one character that I felt was underused in the prequels. Because growing up, we always heard of Bail Organa because of that first movie, Bail Organa. You hear his name, and you know she's the princess. Blah blah blah. So her father fought in the Clone Wars. Oh, so he must have been a great general, and this is General Organa. So he must have been some great general, because back in the olden days of the 1990s and the late 80s, there was no Star Wars. So people were like, fuck the prequels. So this character Gale must be in there and shit. And then when we got the prequels, he was in there, but he wasn't to the extent that people thought that he would be, you know what I mean? So that Easter egg there would have been like, oh, cool, so you could have done like loads of cool shit with that character. Do you know what I mean? But he went to Alderaan to see his fate. Cheers, guys. I'm just saying, I would have done something controversial. I would have done something. If I was George Lucas, though, on the last day of Revenge of the Sith, you know, when she has twins, I would have been like, triplets, bitches. And then people would have lost their fucking minds. And then have him go, it ends at 6. And then everyone would be like, no, but there's another. there is another.
do you know what I think it would have the opposite effect. People would be annoyed by it, especially
Of course
Star
they
Wars
would.
fans.
Of course they would. But you know what? That's what makes good debates. I like stuff that makes good debates. You know what I mean? That would have made an interesting debates because people be like, he can't end it at 6. There got to be more. There has to. Who's this next one? That's what everyone would be talking about forever. You know what I mean? And that's what makes it great. Also, if Bail Organa hadn't have went to Alderaan, more debate.
Yeah.
And good debates, I think. Good debates. That's just me. I don't know. But in terms of like spin-offs and stuff like that, cool, Disney, you do what you do. Just, you know what I mean? Just whatever, innit? Like, if there's a Boba Fett one, like I said, cool. If there's like if there's Obi-Wan one, those are the ones people want. You know what I mean? So cool, give us what we want. But you know what people really want? They want Knights of the Old fucking Republic, okay? That's what they want. And what I think with that IP is that we get to see a brand new version of Star Wars that's never been shown on screen. And they'll have the fanboys jerking off in the knees, man. Seriously, it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
You know, and again, show some prequel love because, you know, prequels don't get enough love. I've been an avid hater of them, but that doesn't mean that I actually legit hate everything about the prequels. I just think, you know, the prequels open up an era that could show us brand new shit that we've never seen before. And
well, it did. It showed us pod races.
yeah, exactly. But like, you know what I mean? Like, they can open up the universe so much more, like over there. You know what I mean? I'd like to see like a Trade Federation back, man.
Federation, jeez. Well, spinning straight off of that into the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, which was announced this week, just gone, that they're in talks to start negotiating a bit, or start to build a script, or start to build a plan to make this film. Do you still think this is a good idea, or do you think they should just leave that alone?
I think it's still a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like the guy that they've got to that they may have to oversee it, Stephen Dardley?
Well, you know what, he's directed a lot of good dramas, so acting wise, he's going to get great performances out of whoever they get out of it. And to be quite honest, Kathleen Kennedy's you know, she's very good at her job. She's very good at spotting talent. I mean, like, you know, working daily with Steven Spielberg on every goddamn movie under the sun, kind of. No, she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's talking about. I don't have anything against this guy. I mean, like, look, he directed Billy Elliot, he directed Trash, he directed The Hours, The Reader. These are very, very big dramas. You know what I mean? So he knows how to direct actors. And you know what? I think that's what Star Wars needs, to be honest.
Yeah.
It needs to be grounded a bit more in terms of performance and stuff. And that's not a bad thing. You know, we'll see. We'll see. Because, like, you know, he's doing Wicked. And that's going to be fantasy. So...
So, see, what I want to see in this is Obi-Wan. I know this has kind of been done in something already, but I would like to see another face-off between Obi-Wan and Darth Maul.
I think that ship has gone, man. I've seen it.
I know, but
I
I want to see the live-action adaptation of that.
The live-action adaptation of that. I don't know. I'd like to see just Obi-Wan going on covert operations, man, down on Tatooine. I'd like him to fucking storm Jabba's palace and just be like, "Yo, Jabba, fuck you." You know what I mean? I'd like.
I hope you're not writing the script for that.
There's loads of stuff they could do, man, with Kenobi.
Hold on, I want to go back to your.
It'll be like Jesus in the desert, bro.
I want to go back to your first thought. Him going down to Jabba's palace and saying, "Hey, fuck you."
Yeah, man, why not? He should do that. He should be like, "Yo, dude."
Just imagine they just based the whole film around him just saying.
What could we do? Jabba could be going for a leisurely stroll on Tatooine, and he fucks up Kenobi's vegetable patch because he has a farm, on Tatooine, and he fucks it up because he trod on a cabbage, and then left some slime or something somewhere, and Kenobi gets pissed in it. And then
Sounds like a good film.
And then there's like a war, a Star War, and I don't know. I'm
Disney,
chatting shit.
I hope you're listening, Disney. This is some good stuff, man. Yeah,
I'm chatting so much shit.
this is good stuff, man. This is good. What my biggest problem with this is that the fact that it'll be on Tatooine.
What makes you think that?
It's not what I think. It's just what I think that because they've been playing the safe card.
Even if it is on Tatooine, I've got no problem with that. Because one, grounded in one area, which has never been done in a Star Wars film. Two, gives us that nice Western kind of feel, which is what I want personally. I know you want to go off into other planets, but we got loads of other fucking spin-off films to come that's going to do that anyway. And the release of Episode 8, which isn't going to take place on anything we've ever seen before. But... you know, like, cool, man. I'm up for that.
And this was again in the universe where it's supposed to be quite diverse and lots of different aliens and creatures. We've only seen like 5 planets or 6 planets.
No, we haven't. We've seen more than 5-6 planets.
Name a few.
Okay, Tatooine, Bespin. Okay, Hoth. Dagobah. Okay. Endor. Wait for it. Alderaan.
I was the one who asked the question.
Alderaan. Now that's 6. Alderaan. 5 seconds. Naboo. Coruscant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vector Prime.
Okay. Out of that, the
I'm still getting there.
The newer planets were all George Lucas and
I'm still getting there. I haven't finished.
That's not my point.
I haven't finished yet. Where was I? Vector
again.
Prime, Coruscant, that fucking Water One, Camino. Okay, that's 10. Now wait. Geonosis, it's 11. Wait. What's that one with Geonosis, Coruscant? That one.
That's the factory, right? Geonosis. No.
That's the planet.
That's
the planet.
Yeah, but it's the factory, right?
Yeah, there's the factory and the John Carter and Mars shit.
Yeah.
That mushroom planet, Kashyyyk.
What the hell's that?
It's in there. Trust me.
What? No, what is it? I don't know what that is.
It's a mushroom planet, man. It was like when
In what film?
In Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith. In fact, it had 3 other planets in there.
A mushroom planet.
Yeah, it was a mushroom planet. It was pink and stuff, and it had big giant mushrooms, and you had like one of those green Twilight guys, and then they got shot in the back because of Order 66. It was a big giant mushroom, and it was pink.
What the fuck are you talking about?
You should go and watch Revenge of the Sith.
I've seen it a lot, and I don't remember.
I'll point it out to you.
No, I'm sure I would remember something. I'll watch it again.
Well, I think it looks like a mushroom, but anyway.
Okay,
it just had some weird plant thing. I was like, what the fuck is that mushroom looking shit? But, you know, that's just me. But anyway.
Is that the planet where Obi-Wan fights, what's his face?
No.
That
planet.
What planet is that?
I forget what that planet is, but...
Is that where Chewbacca and everyone is?
No, that's Kashyyyk. That's
Okay.
where Yoda was at.
Okay.
You're talking about where he fights Grievous, isn't
Yeah.
it? With the lizard thing and stuff. That is some next place. I can't remember the name. We're going into prequels when I start to lose like the names and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so I named like what 14 planets right there.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a lot of fucking planets.
That's
I
a
haven't
lot of
even
planets.
I haven't even hit like Acto or fucking so Acto. Was that fucking place that was Tatooine, but it wasn't?
Oh,
Jakku.
Yeah.
Okay, Jakku. Oh yeah, that was Starkiller Base, wasn't it? The snow shit.
Yeah.
Starkiller Base. Because it was a Death Star within a planet. Okay,
I'll give you that.
Yeah,
I'll
so
give you that.
it's kind of like it had its own climate and shit. So
Oh yeah, it did, didn't
yeah,
it?
it did because it was a planet first, and they just like they went nuts.
Do you think someone saw that and said that's a good idea for Unicron, and have it as Earth?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because Jesus Christ, I don't care if I sport Transformers for you. If to be honest, if you're in that type of mind, you shouldn't be watching films.
No.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Lots of planets.
Lots of planets.
I want to see more.
Yeah, sure. I want to see stuff like Nar Shaddaa and shit like that, man.
Nar Shaddaa.
Yeah, trust me, Nar Shaddaa is a sick planet, bro.
And what happens on Nar Shaddaa?
It's like Mos Eisley, but like a whole planet of like crazy people, and like it's nuts.
So it's a pirate
merged,
planet.
Yeah, kind of like imagine Coruscant, but full of fucking gangsters.
I'm surprised anything like that can thrive, because everyone's kind of trying to double cross everyone.
Yeah. Well, it's run by the Hutts, so you know.
Interesting. All right. Okay. All right then. Well, I'm going to move off. I'm going to spin off from the Obi-Wan film into something less important, which is the Shaft reboot.
What? Another one?
Yeah. And so
reboot of the reboot.
Well, yeah. So it looks like the Samuel L. Jackson film from 2002 or 1. I'm not sure what year it was.
The Christian Bale one, yeah.
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 That film. Actually, kind of enjoyed that. It wasn't. It was. Kind of knew what it was.
Yeah.
They're rebooting this one with Jesse T. Usher, who was in Independence Day Resurgence. Who, if you've seen Independence Day Resurgence, has the ability or charisma of my table. So, for my idea of Shaft is he's supposed to be charismatic.
Yeah.
This actor hasn't proven to me that he's any of those things. So this is either a cash grab. They're gonna make this really cheaply and just try and drain as much money out of it as they can, or it's just gonna fall flat in its face.
Who's making this?
Don't know. I just saw it and thought, I need to talk about this. I need to ridicule it because that's a reboot of a reboot. You know where that goes. Wow, what a thing to reboot. I don't know. I just thought it was weird rebooting something like this. If you're gonna reboot something like Shaft, I think you should just go all the way and do it as a blaxploitation film. Don't middle ground it. Just do it like it was in the 70s. I'll be more interested to see that than something in the modern day with a guy who has no charisma.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. What do you think?
I just think they should leave it alone. I just think, yeah, I'm intrigued. Who's fucking making this? Like, was Shaft Warner Brothers or was it Sony? What was it?
I don't know. TriStar? I guess that's Sony.
Can't even see, man. I've got the poster in front of me. It's like not really coming up. It's like I'm just very interested to find out who's making it, because if it's a Sony decision, I'll be like, well, there you go.
I've got the article here. Star, no, not stars. Gordon Parks. Okay. I can't see anything here about it.
Paramount.
I was in 2000.
Paramount. It's Paramount.
Okay.
Paramount.
All right.
Well, okay. Yeah.
I still, I think this. I'll give this one a miss. Unless it's because that character is such an era, a character of its era.
Yeah. I mean, like, it totally is. It is a blaxploitation thing. I mean, like, fuck. Why don't they just get Quentin Tarantino to just team up with Samuel L. in a sequel to this one? I know he'd never do it, but you know what? You know what? He probably would, because if they gave him full creative control, which they won't, and just say, look, we want you to update Shaft with Samuel L. Jackson, I'm pretty sure he'd go, I gotta work with Samuel L. He's my boy. And he'd give us the greatest Shaft fucking movie ever. Mm-hmm. And it'd probably be just like the Richard Roundtree ones. They'd probably have Richard Roundtree in there, like, as a proper role rather than a cameo role. Mm. And it'd be awesome. But, like you said, it all comes down to the charisma. And, like, yeah, I don't think he has that charisma, man. I think if they went bigger and got fucking someone like Edris then I could see Edris as Shaft. This kid, he could barely be Will Smith's son. Legitimate son. I think she had an affair. It's just, oh yeah, that wasn't even his real kid, was it?
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. Okay, there we go. Okay, so, but yeah. I just think Shaft was, even the Sam Jackson one, it was okay. It wasn't AAA. It wasn't amazing. Richard Roundtree was Shaft, and what? So he's playing Shaft's son.
Mm-hmm.
Samuel Jackson was his nephew.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What? The whole family are cops?
Looks that way.
What is the sequel? Shaft Avengers? They all unite around a barbecue and catch a thief. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I know, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, it is fucking.
But this one, I would like to see Robert Rodriguez do this, and be as ridiculous as he can make it.
Good mate. Yeah. Oh, I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah, because he would do it on a budget. He would do it for
yeah,
10 grand.
He'd do it for 10 grand, make it look like 200 million.
Yeah, and
just fucking make an actual Shaft movie that is a legit byproduct of what it should be.
Yeah.
And yeah. I mean, like, what the fuck is that cat still doing, man? He's doing Battle Angel. I can't.
Why he's done with that?
Has he done with that?
Yeah.
Give us our first fucking trailer, son.
Yeah, I don't know when the trailer will.
I reckon he might direct the Terminator.
No, that's what's his face?
That's not 100%.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be.
You don't think so?
No.
I think it might be out of those two.
No.
Because you gotta understand.
I'll put good money on it. I'll bet £10 on it.
You bet £10.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I'm not 100% with my variables to put my £10, but I'll do a sportsman's bet.
Sure, I'll take that.
I'll do a sportsman's bet. I'm willing to lose on this one, but I think he's a contender.
Yeah.
I should put money on fucking. Nah. Oh yeah. Anyway.
Anyways, on from the yeah. We're all looking forward to Shaft. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, on from that to Bond 25. So Daniel Craig has officially said himself, even though it was kind of common knowledge, that he's doing one more, just to round off the that last film, I guess, which was a very hit and miss with people. So that's good news, I guess. I mean, I actually don't mind it. He's still not my Bond, but
yeah, you just want to see him finish what they've begun and have it be consistent with what they've done. Because I think, even though some people was missed with the last movie, I personally love the last movie. I like what Sam Mendes did, and yeah, man, we'd have to see what they do now, moving forward with this franchise. I mean, you know what? I think he's gonna stay for another 2 more after this. Because here's the thing, after this one he would have done 5. Mm-hmm. He does 2 more. He would have done as many as Connery and Roger Moore. And I think they know that secretly. Mm-hmm. And I also think Barbara Broccoli's willing to wait till he comes back. Because I think he was at a conjunction where he kind of needed it a little bit. Because he, you know what I mean? Like, he's gone off and done a TV series that didn't really catch on. And
he did? What TV series is that?
I can't remember what it's called, but he totally did. And
Daniel Craig?
Yeah, Daniel Craig.
That's interesting. So do you think Daniel Craig, why do you say he'll be back for 2 more?
I reckon they want to keep him as long as they can, and then just you know what I mean? They've been very. I know they really like him. They're not gonna. They will recast at some point, but I don't see them recasting right now. Mm-hmm. That's just me personally. I could be wrong, but you know, it could be. This podcast could be the day of me being wrong.
Well, okay. My response to that is that I think always having a new Bond reinvigorates the franchise.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I think if this one, you could be right if these two conditions are met. If this one makes the money and is publicly liked, I think they could coax him in for another one.
Yeah.
If not, if it just does good money wise, I think they'll move on.
Yeah.
And so that's what I think will happen. That's what I think will happen. And yeah, I'm fascinated to see where this next one goes. If they'll continue on the storyline from the last film or ignore it, or I don't know.
You know what I think they should do? They've introduced fucking Blofeld now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's obviously going to be a continuing thread for movies to come. I think they should just fucking go introduce 006. Not as a bad guy, as a good guy to build up on that character.
Right.
And I think they should just introduce him, have him as an ally, and then leave the 006 character for a long time, and then do the betrayal, but not remake GoldenEye, just do a different story.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean? And do it a little differently.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. But how do you think you see that happening?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I know, but I'd like to see that.
Well, okay, well, that's what I've got to say about that, really. In terms of, I'm just scouring the internet for a few more stories, and
okay.
It looks like Jerry Lewis has died.
What?
Yeah. If you don't know who Jerry Lewis is, he was a actor, comedian, singer, film producer, director. He's very much like Charlie Chaplin in that sense. But yeah, he was towards the end of his life, man. He became really raw, just proper. He would just swear at you. He's, fuck it, I'm not doing it. Fuck you, you fucking cunt. It was really raw in his older years, and yeah, this is unexpected. Just like who's the guy that died a few days ago?
Fucking Bruce Forsyth.
Yeah, Bruce Forsyth. Yeah, that came as a surprise as well. Yeah, which we're moving into that era where everyone that I grew up with, or everyone in the entertainment world that I recognise growing up with, are starting to die out, and the new guard is starting to come in, and yeah, it's kind of weird. But yeah, what else is there? Is there anything that you want to talk about? Is there?
No, I'm all good, man.
Can't
think of anything.
Well, there's one actually other thing that I wanted to talk about. So the director of the Metal Gear film, or Kong Skull Island, is making a Metal Gear film. And
is that 100%?
Yeah, it's 100%. Yeah, he meets with Kojima all the time.
Oh, okay.
And so it's not even, yeah, it's sealed. But he wants to film. What was the actual thing he said? Metal Gear. He wants it to be like I don't know what punk rock means, but he wants Metal Gear to be punk rock.
Right.
Whatever that. How do you define that in a visual formula?
I don't know, man.
Here's a quote from him. Right now, we're trying to write the craziest punk rock, Kojima rock and roll. Like, holy shit, they're going to try and make that movie that does this in many time periods like it's special. Whether we can execute on the script, whether we can get it made, who knows. But right now, I truly believe that the target is in the right direction, and we'll see what happens from there. Okay, so my opinion to that is that all the Metal Gear games have a distinct tone to them. They have a Kojima tone, but each, like Metal Gear Solid, the first one, that has a Michael Bay vibe tone or John Simpson vibe to it.
He can definitely bring in that kind of vibe with the action set. He does big.
Yeah. I get that, but from what he's saying, he wants to go through time periods as well. And as Kojima got through to the latest one, Metal Gear 5, 5 is like super serious.
Yeah. In
terms of its tone, and and even 4 to a degree.
Yeah.
But that still has a very Michael Bay-esque tone to it.
Yeah.
So, depending on how you want to depict, or which form of Snake they're going to depict first.
Yeah.
I guess you have to go the tone. Maybe you don't even have to go the way the games went, but if you want to keep that Kojima craziness, as he so says, then he's may have to follow suit with that. I don't know. What do you think? I interrupted you with your Michael Bay and Big reference.
Yeah. I don't know what to make of these comments. I don't understand where he's going with the rock music video aspect of it. Because I always felt Metal Gear was kind of more serious in tone. I do believe he can do big, giant bombastic kind of set pieces, because that seemed to be all Skull Island was. Just really big. I don't know, man. At the moment, I've got no opinion here. Does that make sense? It's like, I don't know what to think.
Well, either way, I think once he gets a cast and just something down that we can look at, I think we'll have a better indication of where he's going with this. Because right now, there's no the character of Snake is not cast, and I still say Hugh Jackman or what's his name, the Punisher dude. Carl Urban, maybe not Carl Urban, but I'd like it to go in that direction. But looks like you're doing your own thing, so I'm going to end it right there.
No, I'm listening.
No, I'm still going to end it. That's it for this week. There's been a bit of a change to the format, as you may have realised. I'm just doing the news topics for now, while I kind of try and do something different, or not different, just streamline the podcast in a different way, so we're not wasting hours talking about a particular thing. So we'll see how that goes in the weeks and months coming. But thank you, Sach. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Sachman3 at Sachman3 on Twitter, and Sacha Allari on YouTube.
You weren't too sure of that.
Yeah, I was just like, what's my address again?
And you can find Zedos Gang on the interwebs. You can find it on YouTube if you put in Zedos Gang. You can find it on Twitter at Zedos Gang. You can find the podcast on what's it called? Can't remember what it's called. SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, and iTunes. So go along to that and have a listen, have a gander, see if you like it, and if you do, give us a like and subscribe, or just give us a good rating. That'd be great. And that's it. Thank you, listeners, for listening, as always. Thank you, Sach, and we'll probably be back with a guest next week. And that's been the Zedos Gang podcast, and we are out.